Welcome to these small videos on the Elinchrom Quadra and Rangers. These videos were shot during one of my location workshops and during photo shoots. For this setup I'm using a Ranger RX Speed with the Elinchrom Maxi Spot. For this setup we had something special in mind. Originally we had planned for a nice sunny afternoon to shoot some nice beach photos with a nice sunset. Well, you get the idea and you see how the scene looks here. So we changed the whole idea and decided to make use of the clouds and the location in a more dramatic way. The combination of the Ranger RX Speed and the Elinchrom Maxi Spot gives me a lot of power on location, and in this case this was very useful because I wanted to alter the scene to a much more dramatic look. When shooting in these situations, always remember a few things. Safety is always more important than nice photos, although some models beg to differ and still climbed on the rocks with high heels. Always try to bring your makeup artist to the location. As you can see in this video there was a lot of wind, and this often means that the ice will start to tear very easily and this can ruin the makeup. So having a makeup artist on location is of vital importance. And in this case they could also help the models to reach their locations without falling down and keeping an eye out on makeup, hair and the safety of the models. You should always weigh down your stands, but with this much wind it's often best to assign one person of your team to hold the stand and keep the light on your model. Due to the cold and wind it's important to shoot fast and don't lose time with correcting your light constantly because the wind moves the light. In between sessions try to keep the models as warm as possible. This meant with this shoot that one of the models stayed in the car while the other posed. A bit more on the light setup. As explained, I'm using the Elinchrom Ranger RX Speed with the Maxi Spot. What I wanted to do in this situation was to lower the brightness of the scene and let my model jump out. By desaturating the final result and letting some colors jump out, I hoped for a good dramatic photo. The way to do this is to lower the brightness of the sky considerably. The amount is often a personal taste, but rather think in 1 to 3 stops than in less. So the more brightness there is in the scene, the more power you need on your model. If you still want a nice depth of field, it's important to lower the ISO on your camera to the lowest possible setting, or use neutral density filters. This is one of the reasons I'm using a medium format camera. Most medium format cameras can drop down to ISO 50 or even 25 without losing too much dynamic range. If that is not enough, you can use on some models faster sync speeds, which means you are cutting out available light and this way also darkening the background. On location I always try to maximize the results by shooting not only full body, like we intended, but also close in for some portraits, especially with the wind that often gives you wonderful results and more to choose from in the end. And here are the final results. For complete instructional DVDs that go much deeper into the setups and theory, please visit the site.